Otter's Tummy Table, a story about valuing differences. Are you the kind of kid who's always asking why, who wonders how an otter eats looking at the sky? Why they use their tummies to eat a little snack? How do they float along so smoothly on their backs? Those otters were not always the way you see them now. They started out as weasels. Let me tell you how. All otters once were part of the weasel family and were a rebel branch of that ancestral tree. Way back in olden days, weasels stuck to their own. They never ventured far, so they lived all alone. But one little weasel was a total misfit who wasn't like her kin, not in the slightest bit. Her curiosity and her spunk made her rare. She loved to take a swim, and her siblings just would stare. This weasel who played down in the cold seawater, they teased her and they'd call her the little odd daughter. So Otter then became her everyday nickname. Her family felt confused and also full of shame. But Otter would befriend all different pals of all kinds, and to the weasel bullies she paid them no mind. She called out to the fish and flying seabirds, and always waved hello to the passing elk herds. She ate from the ocean and tried all different bites, but food she brought back home caused disapproving fights. Her old-fashioned parents just did not understand her need to help expand the narrow ways of her clan. Her neighbors liked to whisper and sneer openly, and Otter felt so different, but she just let it be. Until one fateful day, disaster came and struck. A forest fire hit, and the weasels now were stuck. The pack was lost and helpless, without a food source. They'd never thought of changing or trying a new course. The weasels' fear of things that were foreign and new had limited their choices and made them quite few. But Otter was still willing to guide and help those who earlier had been so totally opposed. They followed her down towards the open sea water, and for the first time ever, they listened to Otter. They realized that their food was long lost or all burned, so Otter showed them all instead what she had learned. Her friendly and most gracious underwater pals were happy to come share their tasty food and locale. She'd swim and dive all day, getting food without stop, then bring it to her folks to share with others up on top. That's when she started floating along on her back to share the foraged food amongst her hungry pack. So after all those days being bullied and mocked, it came as a relief to just eat and to talk. It's funny how the weasels so quickly changed their tune when their little odd daughter saved them from certain ruin. In time, the pack turned out to take Otter's advice, befriending many neighbors, including the great mice. They opened up their hearts to those all around. The weasels then began to thrive and abound. One little odd daughter changed the ways of her pack. So think of her next time you see an otter on its back.